Just vibe one time for your mind.
Welcome to Sunbeat Live. I'm Adrian Valente with Sunbit, and if you're one of our dental partners, you're in the right place. Happy Wednesday, April 8th, and thank you so much for joining the program. This is our weekly educational series to help trained and certified Sunbeats like you build your comfort and confidence using Sunbit with your patients. And for those of you that are new to Zoom events, we have a couple of controls to help you chat with everybody, ask us questions with Q&A, or share reactions to let us know how you're feeling. And by the way, since we cover different topics each week, you can always reach out to our success team when you need help with anything. Scheduling team training, one-on-one coaching. Maybe you need some consultation with how to be successful using Sunbit on your own terms, on your own time, or maybe you need some help with marketing refreshes. We can do all of that as a complimentary service. All Sunbit partners have access to that. Oh, and by the way, of course, everyone here live in Zoom events gets Sunbeast app rewards points as our way of saying thank you for being here. You'll see that deposited within the next 48 hours. And then, of course, on Wednesdays, we are joined by show producer and co-host. Please welcome to the program, Quinita Brown. Quinita, how are you?
I am great. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. We got a special one lined up today because we're in the middle of the Big Elite Escape. So we're bringing on a special guest. Oh, no. Hold on. What happened to my screen there? That
They're
goofed.
all in your business.
That's actually...
Look, they're reading your notes.
That's actually kind of weird. Hold on a second. Let me, please welcome to the program, Erin Schlehr. Oh my God.
Did you see my face there? I was very confused.
What happened? Hold on a second. Cause I had the slides going, right? Let's fix that. Hold on a second. Can I get Erin?
That's how you know it's live, everyone.
That's how you know it's live. This is not AI.
Welcome, Erin.
Fantastic. We're getting through it. But boy, Erin, thank you so much for being here. You are our director of key accounts on the dental team. You have quite a lot. In fact, I'd love to hear about your dental experience. Can you tell us a little bit more about your background?
Yeah, I've been in dental 20 years now, 2 decades. I spent the first 16 with Invisalign and working with doctors and offices and providers on providing the Invisalign treatment, how to sell the treatment, how to get those high ticket priced items completed because everybody wanted straight teeth, right? So, and I also, while I was at Invisalign, we started those in the mall, look at your smile before and afters. Before COVID. So you would go into the mall, you'd go into an Invisalign shop, scan, and then if you were interested, we would get you finance approved and then send you to the offices. And I got an extensive background in financing and payment plans at that point, and then found that was my true calling. And when I learned about Sunbit, now it's been 4.5 years ago, I started looking into it and I was just floored at how different Sunbit was compared to every other program I had used in the past while at Invisalign. So super happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
We're so lucky to have you on the team at Sunbit and absolutely cherishing the fact that you are here on the program for Sunbeat Live. I've been watching your video content with us over the years too. I've seen you present at a number of things, and especially with your aligner background, we're just so excited. So I already see.
Adrian, I need you to go back to the slide with your pictures because I just have to say, how cute are you, Erin, in this one on the side where you're I'm laughing.
I'm like, where did that come from? That might be after hours at some event.
It definitely was, but you were too cute to not put it in.
I love
it. I think there are worse pictures of me, so I'm okay with that one.
It's so cute. It's so fun.
Better than that super serious one on the other side.
Hold on. I had to go back. I had to bring up chat because I saw Callie
Thank you,
Stewart
Candy.
welcoming Erin. Welcome to the chaos of Wednesdays with the dental crew.
Yes, happy to be here.
Boy.
Toledo. I love it. Holy
yeah.
Toledo.
Sunbeast coast to coast, tuning in on Wednesdays in the middle of the workday, which is kind of wild. Thank you for those of us that are here live. And Erin, you're here in the middle of another exciting thing that's happening at Sunbit, and that's the Elite Escape, and that's what a big reason why you're here, to help provide some coaching tips. Juanita, tell us about the Elite Escape.
Hold on.
Oh,
Let me get my hair out of the sleigh. Okay. Elite Escape, you guys. We are sending 20 Sunbeasts to Hawaii for the people with the most amount of Sunbits. 15 of those will be going to Hawaii with the +1, all expense paid trip. And then 5 Paradise Picks who do at least 10 Sunbits between March 2nd and May 30th will also be invited to go to Hawaii with the +1. So we are super excited. We have Erin here today to give you guys more tips so that you can be at the top of those leaderboards, which I wonder who's at the top right now, Adrian.
Ooh. Let's take a look real quick. So, let me do a refresh.
Okay.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna do something wonky with my screen. All right, here we go. Let's do a refresh.
Diana, 128. Woo! And it's been a month.
You know, the two big industries for us, dental and auto dealership parts and service centers, we're doing top 20s for each, and both groups of Sunbeasts are going to Hawaii together at the same time. And I'll tell you what, the number one in dental, higher than the number one in auto. It's giving them a run for their money.
I think he had like 114, like 114 or 115.
Thomas Yadrin, number one in auto. But what I love to see here, you can search for yourself, but outside of the trophies, the top 15 folks, you can see draw eligible yes. So, like Juanita was saying, as long as you've done the minimum of 10 Sunbits. And what we'd love to see here is that the number of draw entries, right? So, if I were to just pick on, like Jeanette or Ashley, 59, 60 raffle entries, that Paradise pick is looking good.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, Erin, are you talking about how's the feedback been from your accounts that you're working with?
It's been amazing. I think the main thing that everybody's super excited about is they get to bring somebody.
Yeah.
It's not just them, but it's a +1. And it's created a lot of excitement. The opt-in kind of disappeared from the app for a day, and I was calling Alex here. I'm like, we need the opt-in back in. I'm getting bombarded with being opted in, and so no, there's a ton of excitement. And I think maybe the most exciting part is those Paradise picks. So if you're not in that top 15, you always have a chance.
Yeah.
And you can opt in all the way to the last day, I think, right?
Yeah. All the way up until May 30th?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Amazing.
I'll go in your suitcase, Jessica. I'm happy to.
Okay, so to help us out with the Elite Escape, I know, Erin, you got a couple of tips for us. We also have Q&A open right now. I see Jenny already has a question in the wings. So what do you feel like doing? Do we want to jump to your tips first, or you want to knock out Jenny's question from the audience first?
Let's do one of ours, and then let's go to the audience.
I like it. So we're now, Juanita, you shared with us that in the surveys, some people have been asking for a little bit of role play training.
Oh, yeah. Almost every week we get questions on possibly doing a role play. So Erin has agreed to fulfilling that need here and doing some role play with you guys.
She's stepping up to the plate. We're going to put Erin in the hot seat with some patient quotes, things we've heard from you all, and how I need help with rebuttals. What do I say? How do I handle these? So let's prepare the first one here real quick. Erin, I don't want to pay another bill. What do you do with this?
That's a great question. What do you do with this? First of all, who wants another bill? Does anybody want another bill? Right? Like, nobody wants another bill. And I think one of the things that we need to remember in our discussions with patients is that we're all people. And it's okay to agree with people that they don't want another bill. And then you have to kind of set the stage about, well, what do they want? Do they want the health? Do we circle back and focus on the health of the mouth and everything that was diagnosed today? Like, that's what you got to do. So it's okay to empathize with a patient and say, like, I get it. I don't want another bill either. However, when we look at what was diagnosed today, we need to remember that the providers today are telling you what the snapshot is of your mouth today. And if you put this off today, the disease state that you have is not going to stop. It's going to continue to progress. And I'm sure everybody on this call knows, dentistry never gets cheaper, right? As the disease state extends, it's going to become more expensive. And so there's a couple of key phrases that I like that you might hear today as I'm practicing role playing is, well, the good news is, and so I use this a lot, like, okay, I don't want another bill. I agree. None of us want another bill. But the good news is that your disease state now has not progressed to this. And so that means what you can take care of today is the cheapest it's ever going to be. And don't worry about it. I got your back. We can actually break this into monthly payments and make it super easy for you. So that's how I would handle it, agree, empathize, but then turn the corner about what is the real goal here. The real goal here is to get healthy.
So, understanding where that stems from, I don't want to pay another bill is a pretty big defensive wall, right? Like, I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that business. And I can see how that's awkward to come back from. So if I'm understanding correctly, you just got to understand, like, where is that coming from, right? Am I hearing that right?
Right. Yeah. And it might be that they think, let's say in the past, they've only gone to a dental practice that has allowed them to split things into 3 months. They don't even realize there's a 12-month option, right? Like, don't be afraid to ask another question about, well, tell me a little bit more about other bills, like if you progress to this other thing, like let's say it's a crown, right? And we're trying to avoid having to get a root canal. If we get to the root canal, that's going to have a lot of pain associated with it. It's going to double your cost. What if I just showed you what the monthly payments could be with our program that we have here? And then at least now you'll be educated about that decision and see if you can fit it in.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And by the way, I know we sprung into it. We were so excited and I goofed our whole intro. But if you didn't notice, for today's episode, Quinita and I are the players with Coach Erin, Erin. You're the coach. Put us in, Coach. Give us the rundown. What's the play? And we're getting the play-by-play. We're not. They noticed. So, okay, Jessica's like, come on.
I don't know if you know this, but I was actually a swim coach for 20 years before coming in.
Look
really?
The sales space. Yes. So that's actually perfectly suited. I am Coach Erin to probably 1,000 athletes, over time, maybe more than that. But yeah, so I'm totally the coach. And what I will tell you too is, even as a coach for swimming, because this is for swimming, I did cheerleading. I've taught all the kids how to ski. Like I'm kind of the get you up and running coach for everything in my circle. But I still keep learning. Like I keep still role playing and practice things. So by the end of this call, I'm actually going to be feeling more confident at the end of the call because I've been practicing. So for those of you that maybe hate role playing or you want to see more role playing, I encourage you to challenge yourself as you're driving into the office to role play. Just talk to yourself. If you're drying your hair in the morning and the hairdryer is going, look in the mirror and talk to yourself about how you're presenting treatment. And when you hear it come out, you'll hear your inflections, you'll hear how much better you get, you'll see what your face expressions are, whether you're welcoming, building trust and credibility with your patients, because that's 90% of this process, right? It's great. We have a great program that can help them with the monthly payments, but we have to get them to the point where they see the options. So practicing is so key. So another thing I'd love for you guys to take today is practice with yourself in the mirror.
Okay, so I got another one for you. So we went through, what happens if a curmudgeon like me is like, oh, I don't want another bill, right? And then we learn more about why.
And I agree with
and,
you. I don't either.
Yeah.
But I want you to get healthy.
So what if you mention Sunbit to me and then I throw this one at you, which is, is that like one of those medical credit cards? So one of those? Like, what do you say to that?
I actually really love this objection, right? Because they're saying this to you because they're giving you a key that maybe something's happened in the past that hasn't been great. And for any of your viewers that have been on week to week, we all know all the wonderful things that Sunbit does that are very different than typical credit cards. And so what this tells me is they've probably used some program in the past and they got burned in some way. And this is actually really great kind of question to see in the chat. What are some of the things that could have happened to patients in the past that gives them a negative feeling about credit and creditors and programs that they've maybe used in the past? Like, what are some of those negative experiences that they've had? Let's see if anybody comes up in the chat and sees, because what this concern is actually telling you that they've had one of those bad experiences, and we just need to ask further about what it was. So let's see, do we have any participants here?
Yeah. Ooh, hold on. Now I can't keep up with, hold on. Now chat is flying by. Okay, hold on. Let's back it up real quick. Let's go with, Amber Jackman. It'll be like practicing lines for a play. The more you do it, the more you'll have success in talking to and helping your patients receive the best dental health possible. Jessica Jones, back billing the interest.
Yes. So unexpected, like they thought they were going to have no interest, and then all of a sudden now they're having to pay a ton of interest, so they got burned.
Seeing a lot of people comparing it to the buy now, pay later options you see when you're shopping online. So no, it's not a credit card. It's like these other things that you might know.
Yeah. And then they have a positive feeling about that. So now you've pulled the positive feeling into the discussion.
High fees, late fees, prepayment penalties, high interest rates, hidden fees.
Yep. Fees. So when I hear this kind of concern pop up, it's like this opportunity to find out what has happened, because everybody loves to spread the misery, right? Well, tell me a little bit about what happened. It sounds like maybe you've used a program in the past and something didn't go well. Do you mind telling me more? And then hear what they say. And if it's one of these things, now you can shift to your next favorite tagline, which will be, well, that's why we searched for a program that does things differently. That's why we have Sunbit here in the practice. They don't charge late fees.
Yes.
They don't have that, right? So this thing that they came to you as like an objection of what they're not going to do. Now you can find out what that exact negative feeling was and say, well, the good news is we have Sunbit, because we've heard this from patients in the past that they don't like X, Y, or Z, and Sunbit doesn't do any of those. So why don't we just take a quick look and see what your options there would be, and then I can tell you more about it, right? So I think in my experience in working with treatment coordinators, of all varying tenures, the ones that have been doing it for the decades are the ones that have gotten over that fear of asking those questions when it seems like there's a little bit of tension. They see it as a way for the patient to say they don't want it, but it's actually an opportunity to help the patient through it. Find out what that negativity was, and then show how you're going to help them on the other side of that. And that's where that pure joy of really helping patients comes from, is, you almost feel like it's impossible, but then you actually find this glimmer of light and help them through it.
Boy, putting on an absolute clinic right now. Thank you, Coach. So I want to throw you a different kind of rebuttal. So instead of a rebuttal we typically hear from patients, as a Sunbit team member, I'm curious in the rebuttal I often hear from other dental professionals, other dental team members, when they say something like this: well, our patients just pay. Why even offer another option? Like, How do you deal with that?
Well, I would have to say, if I had a nickel for every time I heard this, I'd be a rich lady. I probably wouldn't even need to work anymore. Uh, what I've experienced in my time helping offices is this is an indicator that we're offering it at the wrong time. So if I have a schedule full of procedures today and everybody that comes in for those procedures, I say, hey, do you want monthly payments? They go, no, I'll just pay. Those are the people who would have just paid to start with. So offering it at the time of treatment isn't helpful, because if they were concerned about how they were going to pay for the treatment, they wouldn't have scheduled. Which means that the time that we needed to offer it was actually when we first showed the treatment plan. And that anybody going home that's going home to think about it, that has not seen a treatment plan, is actually your missed opportunity. Okay. Now,
I see.
We can also look at the national numbers as far as treatment acceptance goes. And nationally, we know about half of established patient treatment gets accepted. It's like 50 to 55%, which means 45% is walking out. Those are the people going home and thinking about it. And if you have a sophisticated way to run your reporting, something like Jarvis that goes back in previous months, in my experience, they never end up coming back. They just wait till their next visit and their next visit and their next visit. And the numbers are even worse for a new patient. A new patient, only about 30% of treatment that gets diagnosed actually gets performed. So I agree with the team members that say patients just pay if that's when they're offering it. But it has to happen much sooner in the process to really capture what's walking out the door.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah. And I also think too, the sooner in the process you offer it, and a lot of offices I have are really working on their website presence, getting the links into the appointment confirmations. They're starting a dialogue and an awareness earlier in the patient journey, so that by the time they get to the treatment plan discussion, it's not like a backpedaling, like, oh, you can't afford this. Okay, I guess we'll go get this program over here for you to do it. Mm-hmm. It's more of like, look, we buy phones this way, we buy cars this way, we can buy everything this way now with monthly payments. Like, we don't need to feel bad about it. We don't need to feel like we can't afford it. And if that negativity comes into the process at all, then you do kind of get this negative, like, oh, I can't afford this, versus like, I can't afford this because I can do the payments.
Yeah. Like shifting the mindset from affordability to options for everyone, right? Less about affordability, more about options. I really like that. Yeah. We're cooking in chat today. There's a lot happening.
That was a good one. If you scroll up just a little bit to Stephanie.
Yeah. Management gets mad if it's offered to everyone if they don't think they need it because they don't want to pay the fees to your company to use it. Oh, Erin. Yeah. How do we reconcile the whole fees thing?
So what we've learned in our research at Sunbit is the prime fees are very close to your credit card transaction fees. It's very close, because if you're prime and you have a credit card, like that's what you really need to compare. The problem that we have is, or I shouldn't say the problem. If somebody has a credit card that they love their points, miles, and rewards, and they were going to schedule anyway, you're not cannibalizing that. What you are doing is potentially allowing them more buying power to get their full treatment plan done versus only the a la carte that they were going to do. And we see this happen a lot. We see that with, on average, transactions with Sunbit are $1,500 nationwide. If you look at what people are just paying individually for cash, you're looking at like closer to $300-400 per transaction. So you're able to accept more treatment, which keeps your chair fuller, less appointments to turn around, which also cost you money in PPE, right? And if they were going to pay with their credit card anyway, they're still going to pay with their credit card. But any transactions you get from the Sunbit are going to be larger in dollar amount, to 25 to 30% dollars.
Oh, geez.
Okay. So those small fees. So, okay, you're paying 2% more for some of your transactions, but you just grew your business 30%. I think everybody would take that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of this concept of walking past dollars on the ground to go pick up a quarter on the other side of the room. Right. Like
Yeah.
you're missing those opportunities. And anytime you
analogy.
have open chair, that's the most expensive merchant fee you can have.
Good point.
Right. Because it's empty. You're getting $0 of zero.
Yeah.
Now take that now to the subprime. The subprime probably went home to think about it and isn't doing it at all, or went somewhere that could do where they could get monthly payments. So you wasted potentially an hour telling them all about their dentistry, and then you never got to perform it.
Yeah.
Again, it's not that they eventually come and do it. They don't eventually come and do it. And that's what the data in the practice management software show.
Yeah. You know, this is one of those instances where I'm reminded of the comparison with online shopping, how, everyone earlier was talking about these comparisons to buy now, pay later. And like, I would imagine if you're talking to your doctor or your team about this, like, look at online shopping. Those options are offered indiscriminately to everybody. Some online shopping places have multiple financing options, multiple buy now, pay laters to choose from, probably all with different merchant fees. But they know if they open up options to everyone, they're going to capture more. And like you were saying, 30%? Wow.
And for me too, when I'm shopping, if I see one of those options, I'll be like, well, I'll just throw more in my cart then. Because if I'm going to split it up, then I'll get more stuff than what I was going to get. So same thing for people who see they have options in dental. Like, oh, so I can split this up into monthly payments. Let's do it all instead of just that one thing there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do the same with all the like swim team gear I have to pay for the kids. Like I'd much rather do that in smaller amounts than having to think about some big payment, right?
Yeah.
And it's just part of everyday life. Why wouldn't dentistry be the same?
Boy, I want to see if we have some time to help knock out some of the QA stuff that came through. So let's pull it up. We had Jenny asking the first question. I had a patient that wanted to use 2 separate debit cards for the down payment when making a purchase. She was unable to do so. Is this ever going to be an option? Interesting. I haven't heard this use case before.
I would say to be determined. We don't have a way to do it today. But I've actually not heard this request before. So great feedback. We'll ask.
Yes, I like that one. Jenny, that was an interesting use case. Yeah, all of us OG Sunbit employees right now are a little stumped. That was a good one. I appreciate that. Samantha asking, does anyone run into the issue of the patient not having the debit card on them? It seems like most of mine only carry credit cards. Like, how do we go around this? Or what script do you recommend we use to close things with the patient?
So great question. If they have a lot of times with debit cards, people just take a picture of them and they have them on their phone, and you can always enter details manually for that card. That is the best workaround and easiest workaround that I've seen. Secondarily, I would say if there's a friend or family member that has a debit card that they can borrow for that initial down payment of that day, if you select the feature, the 2 boxes of the debit card on one side and then the remotely created check on the other, you can put the debit card down for today's transaction and then put your bank information in for all the subsequent transactions. So that's a way that you're able to split that up. So nobody ever clicks that other side, the 2 boxes of the debit card.
I know, right?
But that's actually what it's there for. Yeah, you can do routing number and account number there.
You know, where I used to see that a lot was in college towns where you have students who need to do a Sunbit and their parents are out of state or out of town, and they have like a personal debit card. They can do the down payment, but then usually they get mom or dad on the phone. They're putting in remotely created check for those monthly payments. It's a call. I've only seen that kind of pop up there, but yeah, it's like 99% of patients are doing the debit card button or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So that is an option.
Yeah. Boy, we are just at the end of our allotted time.
Thanks,
Erin.
Besties, for answering some of the questions in chat. So they were helping with like emails and things like that.
What was that other side question? Do we have 30 seconds to answer it from the beginning?
from the beginning, from the Q&A box here, or was it something in chat?
Or maybe that was the 1203. Maybe that's what came up.
Yeah. Yeah. So we had Jenny asking about the 2 separate debit cards, and then Samantha asking about what if they don't have the debit card on them. You know, I will also say this might be helpful to leverage pre-qualification links ahead of time. The pre-qualification link process allows patients to put in their debit card details and make sure their debit card works with Sunbit, even before they stop by the practice for their appointment. So as part of that experience, you can also make sure that any of your patients who got approved before their appointment, maybe in your outreach, you can remind them, hey, we saw you got your Sunbit approval here. If you'd like to use it for today's treatment, just make sure you bring your ID and your debit card with you.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Boy, so we got a couple of good episodes coming up soon. Some of the things we talked about today are actually going to be part of what we're going to be talking about. We got spring cleaning next week with the 15th. Quinita, what are we doing for spring cleaning?
We're decluttering, of course. Hello. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's going to be the last.
Tips. Yeah.
Because we got a month left in the Elite Escape for May. Summer's around the corner. A lot of, we're about to get a little bit of busyness. And then we talked about how patients manage their loans. We're going to talk about that on the 22nd, focusing on the Sunbit app specifically. And Erin, I don't know if you saw the news, the web version of the patient login got a big update.
So we'll be
looks really good.
We're going to review that. Awesome.
If you have patients doing multiple Sunbits, the Sunbit app for patients is an incredible tool to manage all that stuff. And then, as many of you know, Quinita came from our call center, spending many years as our training manager. She's going to talk to us about how to adjust and cancel your Sunbit loans and what that all looks like. Be sure to also follow us on YouTube, Spotify. We are simulcast on YouTube right now, and you can catch episodes uploaded to Spotify same afternoon. I'm going to put our link tree in the chat for everyone so you can catch all these sun clips that Quinita makes, which are now making their way back to the Sunbeast app. And it turns out there's some new tropical quiz content coming your way for the Elite Escape. More giveaways. Incredible. But thank you. Erin, any final words of wisdom as we start to wrap up?
Final words of wisdom. Coach.
Practice in the mirror, practice on your drive to work, and it will be seamless. Thank you for having me today, guys.
Quinita, did we miss anything?
No, what a show. I learned some stuff along the way. So
that was a good one.
I appreciate you, Erin. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Thanks for having me anytime.
Well, from all of us at Sunbit, thank you so much for being part of the Sunbeast user community, for continuing your education with us on Wednesdays, and hopefully we will catch you at the next one. And we're gonna dance this one out, everybody. So take care. In fact, I'm gonna switch out the song. We're gonna go this one. Go shake it up. This is a good one. Yeah, classic closer. Classic closer. Good to see the regulars. Good to see the new folks. Hope the new folks come back. But
me and Erin went from like pumping to like swaying.
I know.
I goofed it again. Just proof we're doing it live. All right, so everybody, we're out of here. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you next Wednesday. Bye, folks.